everyone, it's Meg, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my reading and bookish and booktube goals for 2020. New year and setting goals is one of my favourite things about starting a new year. It's just something that I really like to do, and being able to have a fresh start and have some goals to work towards and accomplish things. But I have decided to kind of keep things a little bit more basic and a bit more open, as last year didn't quite go to plan in my personal life at any rate. My reading life was like amazing. That was probably the best bookish year that I've ever had. So I've got a couple of goals that I want to talk to you guys about today. Most of them are kind of generally like reading and bookish in general, and then I have maybe one or two booktube goals that I would like to get to. But yes, without further ado, let's get into the video. So let's start off with reading goals, and last year I ended up reading 53 books in total, which was amazing, especially since my Goodreads goal was 40 books. So I read like 13 books over my goal, which was amazing. So this year my Goodreads goal is going to be 50 books, and I'm not going to do it any higher than that, because I just want to keep it basic. I feel like if I managed to read 53 last year, I should be able to read at least 50 books again this year. And I don't think I would ever put it up any more than that. Like, we'll see how this year goes, obviously. But I feel like that is a goal that I should definitely be able to achieve. If I can read more than 50, like, that is going to be amazing. My second reading goal is to branch out in terms of genre, and I am somebody who likes to stay in their comfort zone in all aspects of life, so I feel like what better way to kind of break that than to try and get out of my comfort zone in my reading. So there's a couple of genres that I want to try and get into a bit more. Number one is fantasy. If you guys haven't figured out from my videos yet, I am very much a contemporary queen. I love my contemporaries, especially my young adult contemporaries, but I feel like there are a few fantasy books. I've read I've read 3 fantasy books, but like the ones that I have read I did enjoy. So I have a couple on my books I want to read in 2020, which I think is going up after this video. There is a couple of books on there that I want to read, and also I want to finish the Caraval series because I'm more than halfway through the final book. I just haven't finished it yet. So yes, I feel like what I have read so far of fantasy I have enjoyed. I just feel like I struggle to find books that I want to read that are fantasy, if you see what I mean, like ones that I seem intrigued by. But hopefully this will be the year where I kind of read a bit more fantasy and figure out what sort of fantasy books I like, and maybe even find some books that will surprise me. And to a certain extent I want to delve into historical fiction a bit more, and this is a genre that I was never interested in reading again, but I read A Sky Painted Gold and Under a Dancing Star by Laura Wood, and they are both historical fiction. And I also read the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society, which I also really enjoyed. And I feel like I don't really want to read or enjoy reading books that are during like World War I, World War II, or like war books in general. That's not personally my thing. And Under a Dancing Star was set kind of pre-World War II, so in the 1930s, just before it all started. So there was a little bit of political intrigue in there, but not a lot. And then A Sky Painted Gold is set in the 1920s, and I loved learning more about that era. And then Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society was set post-World War II, so there was quite a lot about the World War in that, but I didn't actually mind, and I actually enjoyed that aspect a lot more than I thought I would. So I feel like if I want to go for historical fiction, I might go for things that aren't necessarily involving the different world wars. Maybe I will delve into that eventually, but it's just personally not my thing. So yeah, I don't really have any particular books that I have on my mind at the moment, but I will definitely try and read into some more historical fiction in the future. And my next 2 goals are kind of more related to book buying and purchasing books, and that is to try and limit my book buying. And generally I'm actually pretty good with not buying books in bulk, because as sure you guys know, I don't do book hauls very often, and if I do buy books I tend to buy them from charity shops because it's just more fun. Like, it's like a treasure hunt. You're trying to find a book that you really want to read, and sometimes you find an absolute gem or you find a new book that you might not have picked up otherwise. And it's a lot less expensive, and it's recycling. It's not buying from a bookshop, even though it's very important to buy from bookshops to keep them going, but it's recycling books. So like somebody's read it and then you might read it, and then you can always take it back to the charity shop and somebody else will read it. So I really want to limit my book buying even more this year, which kind of ties in with my next goal, which is to use my library. And this was a goal for 2018. Didn't accomplish that. Like, I got my library cards, but I just didn't end up going to the library, mainly because quite a few of the libraries around me don't have the best selection of young adults. But last time I went to one of my local libraries, they had some really good books, so they've obviously kind of updated their selection. So that is one of my other goals, is to finally start using my library, because obviously it's really important to support libraries. And also it's good if you're going to pick up you might pick up a book that you wouldn't have bought originally to read, and also you can read a book if you're not so sure about it, and then if you really want to get it, really enjoyed it and you want to buy it, then you can purchase a copy afterwards. So yeah, that is another goal that I definitely want to try and accomplish this year. So those are kind of my more like bookish / reading goals, and I don't really have any goals for my channel this year. I feel like my main one is obviously to grow my subscribers. I would love to hit 500 subscribers this year. I feel like that is attainable. I feel like from the time I'm filming this video, I have about 170 subscribers, something like that. So I feel like it is possible, but I obviously need to keep up with it. And a goal that I have, this is mainly going to be for December, as I did Bookmas, as I'm sure most of you guys will know, but it didn't end up going to plan. I just got so overwhelmed because obviously December and Christmas, it's such a busy time of year, and trying to do 3 videos, which also includes 4 weekly reading vlogs, and trying to sort my business out for Christmas and working and like everything else that comes with busy December just got a bit much, so I didn't end up finishing it. So I feel like if I do Bookmas again, I would like to do Bookmas again this year. I feel like I'm going to not put the pressure on myself too much, and maybe kind of figure a schedule out so then I can still post some fun Christmassy content, but not push myself over the edge to the point where I just have to shut everything off and just not do anything, because like your girl was not doing great at the end. But anyway, so I feel like not to put too much pressure on myself, but at the same time I really want to be more inventive with my videos. Obviously I'm still fairly new to booktube, so I want to try and find my voice in the videos that I want to do. I'd love to do more poetry inspired videos, so if you guys have any ideas that you would like me to do for videos, whether they're poetry related or any other form of video related, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will try my best to film them for you guys. Because like I said, I really want to do some more original content, as well as kind of all the typical videos for booktube as well. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and hearing my bookish and booktube goals for 2020. Hopefully 2020 is going to be a good year just in general. Like, I had an amazing bookish year last year, not so amazing year as in like life in general, but I'm hoping that this year is going to be an even more amazing bookish year, and also that it is going to be a much better and much more positive personal life year. So we're just going to see what happens, and it's not been too bad so far. So here's to the rest of 2020, and hopefully it is going to be a good one for all of us. Let me know in the comments down below what some of your reading goals or bookish goals or booktube goals are for 2020. I would love to know, as always. If you like this video, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more bookish videos from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and little bell icon so you'll be noted every time I post a new video. As always, I will leave the links to my social media along with the links to my Goodreads in the description down below for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!